Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our EdTech Tuesdays. I almost said Thursdays. Today, we're exploring School.AI. My name is Valentin Guerra, and right here, I also have my counterpart, Devra Pingle. Just feel free to get ready and enjoy some of this introduction about School.AI. Some housekeeping rules. Remember to keep your mic muted. And if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in the chat. Debbie and I are looking at the chat, so we will be able to provide you the answers if we know it. And if not, we might ask School.AI to give us the answer automatically. If you have not registered, please do so by going to the Professional Development System and go to session 368041. And as always, use code PSJA Tech to check in. So what is School.AI? We've talked about others AI tools. School.AI is very similar to another one that we use called Magic School, but it's an AI-powered teaching assistant that is designed to enhance classroom efficiency. It's very similar, but also at the same time is a little bit different than other tools that we've seen. And it does help you generate lesson plans, activities, get student insights, monitor spaces, because they call it spaces, the ones that you have with students, and it helps you create individualized learning experiences for your students, saves you time, and adapt to meet with diverse learners. Now, the spaces are interactive learning environments where you can create one from scratch, or you can have one that is already there and just edit it and use it on your own. You can also have a sidekick that helps you create a space. One of the assistants in School.AI also helps you create the spaces, and we're going to go through over the assistants as well. The tools, there's several tools. They help you automate your planning process. You're also able to create lesson plans, syllabi, quiz generation, IEP goals, worksheets. There's a bunch of different things that you can create with School.AI. Now, the assistants, like I talked about, think about this as just talking to the AI like a chatbot, but the assistants are there are several that are specific for different goals. And we'll go that into there. There's one that is a co-teacher, a field trip planner, Common Core expert, which we need to call it our TEKS expert, which is aligned to the standards. And I'm 100% sure that, well, 99% sure that it does use also Texas TEKS, but we'll go online and we'll go live and we'll figure it out. Essay grading assistant and customizable responses and support. So to create spaces is super simple. You can create it, like I said, from your own. You can get some that are already created. But before you even publish it and share with your students, there's an area in there that allows you to just try it out before you put it out there to the world. And the cool thing is that you can monitor the interactions that your students are having with the AI in these spaces in real time. Mission control, that's exactly when you're going to be monitoring your students' interactions. So you're in there in your space, and I'll show you how it looks. And you just go in there, you start seeing what your students are responding, and you can give them feedback automatically on what they're doing. And we're going to go live, we'll create a space, and I'll allow you to go ahead and start playing with it while we check out the mission control. The space creator feature, it allows you to customize a lot of different things, but it's super simple to use. You can type in your prompt of what you wanted it to do. And one of the cool things is that it does generate AI images about that space specifically. And just some best practices, make sure that you start with clear learning objectives and provide that prompts to the AI very detailed. The most detailed that you can give it is the better. So one of the things that I always suggest is to provide the TEK. If it's aligned to a specific subject, it's even better to provide the TEK. So everything that is happening in that space is aligned to that. You can monitor your student interactions, do it regularly, and you can get that interaction or get that data to get insight on how your students are doing and if you need to adjust your instruction. All right, so now let's get started with School.AI. If you have not got to School.AI, I'm going to go ahead and copy this link, and I'm going to paste it right here in the chat. So you can just click on it, create your account. It's free. You can do it. I believe you can log in with Google. And you can we're gonna explore first the pre-made spaces, create a custom learning experience. Then I'm gonna show you how you can share it, and then you can either share it in your Google Classroom or put a QR code in your class if you want them to scan it. Specifically for those that are having students in kinder that we have iPads, and if you want to use the space with your students, they can just scan it with the camera. And then we'll go through mission control so you can see how everything is happening and get that feedback to your students automatically. So I'm going to stop this here and go live into School.AI. So I'm going to sign out so you see it how it works. So you can continue with Google, Clever, and Microsoft. We don't have it integrated with Clever. I know we use Clever a lot. Let's just continue with Google. It will log you in. It might ask you some information if it's your first time doing it. And this is the Launchpad. It's super simple. You get your sidekick, which is to create, it gives your students manage access to their very own AI assistant. You can find spaces that are already created, or you can create a space from scratch in here. You can always tag which ones are your favorite, share it, have some shared with you, and you will have your creations under My Creations. Now, there's additionally other areas that you can get spaces from, like a PBL area, specific spaces for May, and a learning activity collection. This is just the Launchpad. You can go into spaces again, and you can also go into Discover, Create, and see any of the sessions that you have live. So to get to this session, it will be in My Creations. The Create will be Create My Space, and the Discover is here in the Find My Space. You also have access to that, I believe in, actually no, Spaces is just right here. Now, tools. These are all the tools that you can use as a teacher. So you can get worksheets, lesson plans, multiple choice quiz, build your own, rubric generator, text leveler, and a bunch more. You can see in here which ones are here. Feel free to use them and start testing them out. And the assistant part right here will give you access to those chatbots that are specific for an area. So a co-teacher, it will be someone that will have the knowledge also of a teacher. You will specify it in there, and it will help you in the thinking and brainstorming. It's like a teaching assistant. You can use this one to help design a space like we have here in the spaces, and you will just have that conversation with the chatbot. And once you're ready to get what you wanted, you click and you design the space. AI and education coach, Common Core expert. And this one, like I said, I believe we do have it for TEKS as well. I'll click on it right now after I'm done going through all of them. The essay grading assistant is really cool because you just basically put an essay or a response of the student, and it helps you grade it and gives feedback for the students. There's a digital literacy coach, a curriculum coach, PBL activity expert, and a research assistant. Like there's also the field trip coordinator. So in this one, he can help you plan and organize a successful field trip. Maybe we're not thinking about everything that is there. So just say where you're going and what you're wanting to do, and it will help you with those ideas or needs that we might not think out of the top of our head. So I'm going to click here on the Common Core expert. And if I believe we go to here, it will allows us to, okay, so this is information that you do, but what we can do is that we can just type in here, can you do Texas TEKS alignment instead of Common Core? And my question in here is because I know that when you're creating spaces, you can align and select which TEKS to align it to instead of having to type it. But I want to make sure that this expert does align to TEKS. And if not, then we won't use it. Yeah, it says, yes, I can help with the TEKS alignment instead of Common Core. Specify the subject and grade level or particular learning objective you want to align, and I'll provide the relevant TEKS standards. Super cool. Now, I'm going to go here into Spaces now, and I'm going to click on the Discover, and I'm going to open a new tab so I can keep this in here in case we need to look for a TEK. I'll just go back into this tab and do it. So there's a bunch of different ways to work on the spaces. You have the Sidekick, the Bell Bringer, Exit Ticket, Explorer, Topic Explorer, historic figure chatbot. This one is where you specify a specific historic figure and your students are able to communicate with them and they will speak, not literally talking, but they will type as if and use the language as that person. Career exploration path, tutoring session, choose your own adventure, kind of like an escape room or topic-based adventure for your students, and a book explorer. So let's do a historic figure chatbot. So these are some that I had already worked on. As you see, pick up where you left off. These are some popular ones now. Easter addition and subtraction. These are there. Subject tutors. These are some tutors that are created specifically for subjects. Like there's a history, there's health and fitness, economics. There's some PBLs in here. And these are the maze spaces. So you can always get to different spaces from different areas of School.AI. So it's kind of cool to see that. I'm going to go ahead and click on the historic figure chatbot. Like I said, you're creating this one from scratch. Simply enter the historic figure you want your students to chat with. The chatbot will proactively share interesting facts about the person while also inviting students to ask their own questions. I'm going to use the example of, I don't know, let's see. Let's let the people around here give me a historic figure so I can type it in here and we go ahead and make our space. Anyone, would you like to type a historic figure on the chat? Okay, let's do Stephen F. Austin. Thank you, Susanna. I'm going to copy it, paste it, and you can go here to more options to get some custom instructions to the AI. For example, you can make sure that to bring back to the conversation, if the students get veers off to conversation, you can describe your students. So this is a third grade class of bilingual learners, which first language is Spanish. Let's do that. And you can go here to start preview. This is where you can test it before you actually launch it. So I'm going to start the preview. Before we begin, this is a learning activity designed for K-12 classrooms. Well, I did my best to represent F. Austin. Remember that this is a learning tool. So I'm going to share my sound because like I did say, they are able to speak, but it is just reading the text. It's not actually going to be speaking like the historic figure. So it's just a speak aloud feature like we have in any other tools.
This is a learning activity designed for K-12 classrooms to explore historical perspectives. While I'll do my best to represent...
So I'm going to set, let's proceed. Or I'm just going to do, yes. Hi, Mr. Austin. How are you today? And the cool thing about this is, like, for example, if your students really don't know anything about this historic figure, they can ask them. So hello, I'm Stephen F. Austin. I feel honored to speak with you today. Did you know that people call me the father of Texas because I help families start new lives here? Have you ever thought about what it would be like to move to a new place and help build a community? No, I haven't. But can you please tell me about your life? Start from when you were a child and how you became a historic figure. Of course, when I was a child, I grew up in Virginia, so you get a lot of the information. My father was Moses Austin. People settled in Texas, which was part of Mexico then. When he passed away, I decided to continue his dream. Have you ever tried to help your family or other friends with something important? Yes, I have. Can you tell me about the time you helped someone? So I'm going to say, cooked dinner for my siblings, and it made me feel useful. they're able to share their personal stances of things that they have done. And then it will be when I help families move to Texas, I also felt useful and proud. Little acts like cooking or helping a friend can make a big difference. Do you think small actions can? And the questioning is really good. So it's ultimately what I see right now is that it's constantly trying to get information and making students think about purpose. And now I'm going to click on launch. And like I said, you can use a space code or add to Google Classroom automatically. I'm going to do a space code. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it here so you guys can join. And go ahead and click on it. And then we're going to be, this will be the mission control area where you can see where your participants are joining, and then it will give you information. So here it will give you how the sentiment of the student responses are. It will give you some headline in here. It might give you some areas like if the students might need some help in other areas, or they're crying out for help, or they're not typing nice things, it will tell you in here as well. You can click view the chat. And it says that very good. And then as a teacher, you can send a message in the chat to the students. I like what you are doing, Debbie. Keep on the good work. I see Susanna type something too. So let's look at the chat. Because Stephen F. Upton have done something differently to help with the battle. Which battle? Let's see, the students show interest and engagement by asking a question, but it was something surface level and lack of depth. They may benefit from guided questions to explore further. Let me see how Debbie is doing over here. It gives you information pretty much very similar to what I got when I asked the same question. So here is some things that are happening in the session. So Susanna asked a thoughtful question about whether could have done something differently to help the battle. CJ thoughtfully explained that people move to new places for better living. So you're seeing this live. I feel this is really cool to see as a teacher if you're having these spaces in your classroom, because then you can go immediately and see what they're actually typing. Cool. I loved it. I hope you liked it. One of the things that you can do, you can always end the conversation by clicking on end. You can pause it, and then they won't be able to use the session anymore. But I do want to move on and go into something else. So if we go into spaces, like I said, you can go to Discover. One of the coolest things that you can do is also exit tickets. It helps you check for understanding after a topic. But let's go to Create. Create is a little bit different. You can create one from scratch, and you just type the title, put the prompt, exactly what you want that chatbot to do. So this is like you are acting as this. Remember when we discussed in the past about the key things when you're creating a space and you're talking to AI, you need to use the PSJA TEAK, which will be what is the purpose? What is it that you're wanting to do? In this situation, if you're trying to get the students to have conversations, or if you're trying to create like an escape room, what do you want to do? Align it to the TEAK. The S, remember, who is the speaker? So the AI, what is the AI able to do? Is it supposed to be a teacher, a tutor, a specific subject? the length of what the conversation you'll be doing. Is do you want one question at a time to be happening, or do you want to be multiple questions? You can do that in there. And the audience, you need to specify, for example, your students, what age they are. And like I was talking about in here, that's what I was getting, that in the Common Core Assistant, you might be able to use the TEKS. It's because when you click on the standards, you can actually select Texas. And once you are in Texas, you're able to get your TEKS. So you go into select the grade, your subject specific. So these are the TEKS for language arts. Let's see, let's get the newest ones. And then you get the strands. And right here are your TEKS. Let me see. Is there anything else that we can? And once you start doing everything, it will automatically generate the cover image. So I'm going to show you, I'm not going to really create one. I'm going to show you some of my sessions that I have already. And you see that these are created. So this was a Storycraft Fun AI. This one I created is an AI assistant storytelling. And I'm going to click on edit. So you can see how I write it. So I called it Storycraft Fun AI. As an AI-powered storytelling assistant, help me create an engaging, development-appropriate story for pre-K students and follow the following steps. Identify the pre-K guideline, ask me to provide it, gather vocabulary questions, and this will be done with the teacher. So I'm going to show you how it looks like, and if you like it and if you want it for your pre-K teachers or your kinder teachers, I'll be more than happy to share the space so you can share it with them as well and they can just duplicate it. I did align to the pre-K guidelines. For a child reenacts a story after being read aloud. The child engages in story-related pretending activities. Child retells or reenacts a story with clear beginning, middle, and end. And dictate or write sentences to tell story and put them into sentences for kinder. Now, like it generated an automatic story. I can regenerate it if I don't like that image, and it will just make me a new one. Let's see what it looks like if it changes it. And the cool thing is that it changed it a little bit. That looks kind of cute. You can generate all the fields in the bottom just by clicking in there after you put the AI prompt, and it will allow you. The one thing that it is required here in the title, you need to have a title. Of course, you want to put the prompt, but the only thing that I see here that is required is the title. So if we put preview, hi, ready to create a fun story together? First, can you give me a Texas pre-K guideline to our story to focus on? So let's do pre-K 4.3.D.1, which will be reenacts a story with a clear beginning, middle, and end. No, sorry, it was pre-K 4.III.D.1. Forgot an I. Let's do vocabulary words. So I am going to pick universe, space, rocket, gravity. So the teacher can grab the vocabularies of the week that they're getting in their curriculum and align it to the story creation. So first question, who will be the main character of the story? So let's do it as a friendly alien. Great, a main character. What is the name? He is Waka Woo. I don't know. I'm just trying to do this quick because I only have 6 minutes left. Rocket Ride. Blue Rocket. Challenges. his rocket breaks on its way to section 654 on a galaxy far away. I don't know, just making things up. He uses his smart skills and his communication skills to get the help of other aliens in the vicinity. He throws a galactic party. So now I believe here comes the story. Once upon a time in a universe, there was a friendly alien named Wookiwoo. Wookiwoo loved exploring space. Wookiwoo climbed into his blue rocket to pretend. Can you pretend to climb into a rocket? So remember, it is aligned to the standards. So if you're doing this read aloud with your students, it's asking the students already how to do things that are aligned to the previous standards that we align it in there. Can you pretend to fix the rocket? So we're doing in here, we're engaging in storytelling related pretending activities. So this is really cool. We can save it and launch it. The students are able to reenact the story, and it will be fun because they're creating it, and it makes it just for them. Before I end up, because we have 4 minutes, I want to go back to assistance. And remember, there is a Space Designer chat where you can just start and said, hey, I need help creating a space for my 5th grade students about science, specifically landformations. What can be some cool space to keep them engaged and make sure they review concepts for the state exam? This could be an escape room or maybe something simple as an exit ticket. So I'm just telling you what to do, and then it's just going to help me create some ideas for the escape room. So let's see. Let's do build number 5. Build your own. I want it to be the adventure guide. I'm just going to copy and this. So we can go into our door prize in 2 minutes. Yes, use them all. Mm, 10 questions, all available landforms. Score of 80. Yes, please. So here is everything that you created, and it will help you to create that space. You will just copy this prompt. Would you like to help assess? So that's it. You grab it and you create your space designer. You have all the role, the task, and the detail instructions and set of requirements, and you will create your space for your student specifically on whatever you have that chat with. So this was our training on School.AI. I know that it was really short, but we have 1 minute left, and now it's Debbie's time to do our door prize. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you, Valentine, for a great session. And thank you everyone that attended today.